This is the Relationship.
Okay.
I am Toya, and we have Jason and Eric up in the house. We here.
Yes.
I'm excited.
We're here in the house.
Yeah.
Sounds just like Jason.
What?
Yeah.
Did you give her the card? Is that why she's excited?
I still holding on to the card.
Oh, okay.
Still got the card.
Okay,
I
we're
thought
not
that was
going
we
there
haven't
today.
won the
We
card
are
back
not
yet.
going.
We're not doing
You don't
that
even
today.
need to know what we're talking about.
What are we doing today?
We are talking about
But you might want to check out episode.
No, we are not going back. We're going to talk about attachment styles.
Yeah.
And how that can affect your marriage.
Absolutely.
So, you know, that's something I really didn't even think about, but it's there and it's real. So.
I know that's is something that's everywhere that nobody thinks about.
Yeah.
That's why you get all this weird dating advice. It's like 3 ways to know he's into you and 7 ways to know he's not.
I mean, I
That
think
doesn't-
about it so much that I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Attachment
exactly.
style, so.
Yeah, but again, we're used to that.
So-
Right, Toya?
I'm not.
We're talking about.
I'm staying in the middle.
Hey, newsflash! We're talking about something that Fowler has no idea what we're
Just the
talking
keeper
about.
of the card.
Yeah.
That's all I
Because nobody would have known. Yeah,
Exactly.
No, but for real. So those, like, you think about all the dating game plan.
Yep.
Like, don't call, wait,
Right.
all that kind of stuff. It's like that stuff's not universal. So if you don't call somebody that, say, has avoidant attachment, they're cool with that because they value independence and everything else. If they have an anxious attachment, now they're worried, you're abandoning me, I don't want to have the relationship. So it's like the same activity can work for one person and trigger somebody else based on attachment style.
Yeah, just your explanations make me tired.
Yeah.
I was about to
you
say-
can take a nap like you do during the
Have
show.
to.
Yeah. So
Jason doesn't know what you're talking about. So,
know, so-
I mean, I'm
let's
picking
get
up
into
on
the
it. Good
four
thing about
the
styles.
good thing about Jason is he can sleep with his eyes open. So
Yeah,
half
yeah.
of these shows, he's actually asleep and you
I'm
don't
just,
know.
No, exactly. Yeah, I'm just winging it.
My
I'm
best
just
friend
here.
in high school did that.
Did you really?
Yeah, it was the weirdest thing the first time I saw him. Like, hey, Nick, get up. Nick.
And eyes were
I'm
open.
like, dead open, all the way open.
that's
Wow.
I'm like, Nick's dead. And then
Killed Nick.
and then I woke him up and he's like, oh no, sometimes I sleep with my eyes open.
How
Wow.
do you do that?
I've seen my dog
Not
do
on,
that.
not
but
on purpose, but it's a weird thing.
All
Wow.
right.
Anyway.
Weird
Note
thing.
to self.
So yeah.
Don't meet Nick. Don't meet her dog.
Yeah. So attachment here. We'll just talk to
right.
Jason.
Yes.
Attachment style.
All
All
right.
right. Not
Good.
to bore you with all the gory
bore me.
history details. 1950s.
Okay.
British psychologists came up with the idea that how we attach in childhood determines the way we
Okay.
try to have secure bonds as adults, right? And so they even did, this was because what it used to be was they thought that attachment was based solely on feeding. Basically, they thought back to like primitive, and it's like, hey
Gotcha.
man, if you stay close to the parents who are feeding you, you have a better chance of survival.
Okay.
So attachment style is all about who feeds you. Then they did some research with monkeys, where they put a wire monkeys in the
Yeah.
cage with a baby monkey.
Okay.
And so one of the wire monkeys had the bottle with food.
Yeah.
And the other wire monkey was clothed in soft cloth, and they put the baby in there away from its mother, right?
Okay.
What they found in the research was the baby would obviously go to the bottle to eat, but it
Yeah.
spent most of its day by the soft wire. And if it ever got scared, it would run to the soft wire. And they realized that it's not just about feeding, it's about connection.
There you go.
Nurturing.
So
Got
nurturing.
it.
So our
Fascinating.
attachment style is determined by
Okay.
what we did or didn't get from caregivers growing up.
Wow.
That's basically, and based on that, we develop an attachment style that follows us into adulthood. It's not permanent. You can change it, right? Like
Okay.
if you recognize I got an anxious attachment style, it's not serving me well, then you need to learn how to be more secure with yourself and all that kind of stuff. So the
Figure
four
out how your
attachments,
parents screwed you up.
yeah, basically.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah. So and so
Not a
this will
big
be you can go back to your dad and be like, hey, Dad, I just
Hey, Billy.
realized I got an avoidant attachment style because when I tried to share my feelings,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
told me to shut up. Boy, shut up. He said,
Yeah. This will
quit
That'll
crying.
go
yeah.
over good.
Yeah.
This also reminds me,
think
I've
I
been
like
watching I Am a Killer on Netflix.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
You no. Anyway, it's about people that are like on death row or got life in prison. And so they kind of talk about their history, right? And 90% of the episodes I've seen, it's a huge issue with their childhood. Whether
Yeah.
their parents abandoned them, they're on the streets, their parents are, drug addicts or just very
Right.
abusive,
Right.
and it's just like to see exactly what happened in their childhood and what made them get to where, they just don't care. They don't care. They were never loved and nurtured, and they make those decisions. And now here they are, life in prison or
killing people,
death penalty, or, they got the death penalty or whatever. And I'm just like, wow. So anyway, that just kind of reminds me of that. But I know we're going to talk about the effects in marriage.
Yeah, because you may be on the verge of becoming a serial killer and not know.
Well,
so this will be good for you.
To know.
Yeah, this will be good for you.
I can help. I'm glad. Let me take
I can help cut you off at the pass before it gets bad.
Right when you to the point.
All right, so let's go through them. So the 4 types are secure attachment.
Okay,
that's obviously ideal.
Right,
which are pretty healthy.
Yep.
Right,
anxious attachment. I'll describe that. Avoidant, and then they have one they call disorganized, which is basically avoidant, anxious. It's like both. It's like
disorganized. I'm like,
it's Toya.
What?
It's kind of like some days she's clingy, and other days she's standoffish.
How did I get in this? I thought you were talking to Jason. Why am I in this?
Jason brought you in.
Oh man, thanks, Jason. I was trying to stay neutral today.
This pony by myself.
All right, so let's talk about where it comes from. So anxious usually is maybe the parents were unpredictable, and neglecting, so the child becomes clingy, trying to get the connection that they want, right? So basically they start trying to fight for it. And you can imagine people in relationships that are always fearful, trying to fight for it, right? So they question really, am I lovable enough? Am I worthy? Am I enough? And so it's always trying to prove themselves, all that kind of stuff. That's anxious.
Makes sense.
Avoidant is usually their emotional needs were rejected by their parents.
Okay.
So maybe they tried to express emotion and parents were like, not here, or just didn't respond to it or whatever. So they get to a place where they're like, there's no point in sharing my emotions.
Sounds a little like here.
Yeah.
A lot like here.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you may have developed some avoidance on some of that stuff. And so they're not going to express themselves. They're not going to seek support because I'm not going to get it anyway. Right. So you just learn to be independent, can't count on people, that kind of stuff. And then disorganized, like I said, is a combination. Most experts think that a lot of people who have disorganized is because of abuse, physical, emotional, sexual. And so it's like either they weren't protected by the caregiver. Sometimes it's by the caregiver. So imagine that confusion, right? This is a person that's supposed to be secure and safe for me, but they were abusive. And so now it's like, I don't know what to do with any of them. So that tends to be where it came from. And then what it looks like is, again, anxious, worried about relationship, always worried about being abandoned. They may be clingy, just always fearful about the relationship, right? Gotcha. That's anxious. So they crave intimacy. So that across the spectrum on these, it's like there's intimacy, there's avoidance. So they crave intimacy. Okay. They like intimacy, but they're fearful of losing it.
Yeah. Okay.
Whereas avoidant don't want to depend on people, tend to be independent, tend to need their space, not real big on intimacy.
Okay.
Not anxious, but they're kind of like.
And what was the last one? Disorganized?
Yeah.
That you talked about? Okay.
Yeah.
So those are.
And that's Toya.
That was Toya.
That's
okay.
Toya. Yeah.
Those are the ones that get in the relationship like day one and are expecting it to crash. They're just looking for like.
It depends. Those are the people. The disorganized are the ones that are confusing because one day they seem like they're all about the relationship, and then the next day they're kind of like, "Dude, why didn't you call me? What's going on?" That's why I say all the game playing of 5 signs he's not into you. Could be into you. May have some attachment issues.
Right. Okay.
So he is into you, but he doesn't know how to connect to do that kind of stuff. So around like closeness and intimacy, around avoidance and anxiety, that's kind of where those all fall.
All right. Work on
that's what it looks like.
That sounds nothing like me or the old me.
Oh, really? The old you. So you got a new you and an old you?
So, yeah.
So I know you took the test.
I did.
You took the attachment style test. Where did you take that?
Why don't you online?
Oh, okay. There's a bunch of places online you can take. You can take.
I just Googled attachment style.
Oh, she Googled. Imagine that.
I Googled attachment styles, and there was a quiz right there.
All right.
So,
man,
come on.
How'd you score?
Come on. You know how I scored. I am secure now.
Yeah.
Now.
So were you different at some point?
I probably was.
You should have taken the quiz like the old Toya.
Yeah.
The old Toya
I don't even know how she would think, but I can guess. Let me guess.
Well, we can bring Ahmad on and find out exactly.
He's busy.
Exactly how she was.
But I would put myself probably with the anxious.
Okay.
Before, only because I'm a firstborn, and I feel like I put more pressure on myself to do right.
So it wasn't your parents per se. It was more what you
No,
did to
because I've
yourself.
actually had these conversations with my mom.
Okay.
And I would tell her things like, you know, I know that I need to do this. People are depending on me for this and doing that. And she would say, why do you think like that? And so I realized it's really all in my head and more than
That's interesting.
it's me.
So you
It's
screwed
not-
yourself up.
Yep.
Wow.
But that's
Nice.
where the anxiousness comes from. So then, or in the past, in my marriage, where it's like, am I doing good enough? Is he okay? All of this, because I've always put that on myself. Like, I'm the firstborn. I have to set the example. And now my dad passed, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like he always was the one that was like, Toya, you're the older one. You have to set the example. You have to do this. You have to do that. And I probably put it heavier on
Gotcha.
myself than what he intended it to be. But now looking back, I think that's where it came from. So
That's your dad's fault.
I wasn't going to say it.
I think we can all
But
agree.
that's where
All right.
those seeds were
Yeah.
kind of planted.
All right.
But like I said, I don't think he intended on me to harp on it the way that I
Right.
did, you know.
A little overthinking going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
okay,
sure.
gotcha.
So anyway, that's me.
Which the anxious attachment style is going to overthink.
Well, there you
They're
go.
the ones that are going to see something their partner did and overestimate what it
Yeah.
really was about. Wait a minute, they did that and they haven't done that in the past, and so what must be going on? You know,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
that stuff all the time. The clinginess.
So I mean,
So you used to be more
Yeah.
on the anxious, you would say.
I would say.
But now,
I would say.
now you've matured
Now-
into this.
Do you
yeah, because
see
I'm more
secure
aware of
woman.
Do
it.
you see yourself less that way when you wear your Yahweh shirt? Like, it
Heck,
just empowers
yes.
you?
Yes.
There you go. I like it. I
It's
need
like,
one of those.
it's like being clothed in
Yeah.
the Holy Spirit.
There you
what
go.
I
took that. Yeah.
That's it.
the
All you
old
got to do is
black-hearted
just,
shirt.
just,
Hey,
you
listen,
know?
there is a whole, scientific area of study around enclothed cognition of what you wear impacts how you think about yourself.
I
and
can see
others.
that.
Have you ever seen that?
No,
You seen those
that'd be-
experiments?
That'd be interesting.
There's
No.
a great book
I can see
called
that.
was it You Are Not So Smart? And then the follow up is Now You Are Less Dumb, and it's full of those things, and they're phenomenal. Where it's like they took the same white overcoat and put it on people and told them it was a chef's thing.
Okay.
And they had them fill out some test kind of thing.
Yeah.
They had one other one, and then they told them it was a doctor's
Yeah.
cloak,
Yeah.
and the people who were wearing the doctors scored better on the testing.
That's interesting.
All other things let even that it depends what we think we're wearing impacts how we think and process.
Because when I did my
ourselves.
internship, we had to wear the tie and the coat
Yeah.
and all
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I can see that.
So
I
she's
can
wearing
see that,
Yahweh.
too.
I mean, she's like a mini angel today.
A mini
this is-
angel.
Yeah, I mean, this is the day
There you
that
go.
Ahmad's going to get grace and love extended
Yeah.
and all
You know
kinds of
what?
stuff.
I
And
think I need some new clothes.
But Jason's wearing
Yeah.
No, you don't get anything.
More.
You extend grace. Jason's just wearing black.
That's it.
So
That's what you
he
get.
may be a serial killer
Yeah.
with a disorganized attachment style.
Hey, could be. You know what they say? I'm not going to say
Who's
it.
they?
They.
Oh, they.
Once you wear black,
Really?
that's what they say.
I've never heard that.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder
Don't
who.
they say that?
I don't know, Jason.
I
I don't know. What
I think the they that he hangs out with,
I don't know.
I don't really know about.
Okay.
Me either.
I stand corrected.
So
then.
what do you do if I think you got? So the reality is over 50% of people are secure.
Right.
The problem is the other ones, if you're not aware of it, continue to find yourself in relational frustration because
See
you
that?
don't know why. And what happens a lot of times is you get an anxious who gets connected with an avoidance style, and you can imagine how well that works.
So as you being a counselor,
Sure.
do you got the instinct now? You can just look at people and go, "Oh yeah, they're."
Yeah, how long does it take?
No, I mean, you got to listen to them talk. Obviously, you can
Gotcha.
see some stuff. Like, I can think off my head right now numbers of couples who one is one or they're both of the, a lot of the couples that have the crazy cycles that are stuck in,
Yeah.
it's because of that. Because the avoidant wants their space, they want some independence, they don't want to depend on somebody. And then if they get in a relationship with the anxious who's like clingy, needy. So I've done a couple recently, some videos on the YouTube channel on 7 triggers for like anxious attachment, 7 triggers for avoidant attachment. I don't have it with
I'm
me.
thinking
and I
this
don't have
test
it
ought to be
memorized.
like first right off the bat on
Yeah,
premarital
yeah.
stuff.
Oh, for sure. for sure.
Wow.
I talk about it more now than I used to, especially when I just see people where it's like, okay, you just start seeing the, like, you know, he doesn't give me the time of day, or you know, he ignores me, and so I'll always talk about, especially if they don't live together, it's like, you got an avoidant who's fine when we're not together, but you stick him in the house with somebody who may want to be like, oh, it's going to be so great. We're going to wake up together. We have breakfast together. We both work from home. We have lunch together. And you can see like the eye is glazing over somebody who's avoiding, like, this is going to kill me.
Yeah.
This cannot happen. And then, you know, then you start getting frustrated. So if you understand it, you have a little grace. Like, you're not rejecting me.
Yeah.
You just need your space and alone time.
Oh, okay.
And because otherwise it's hard not to take that personal. Like your spouse is like, you're kind of suffocating.
I mean, like, what do you do with that when they're already in it? They're already in the marriage and they're just bouncing off each other because these things don't mesh.
I mean, to me, it's like any other difference in marriage. You got to figure out how to manage it, right? Where can I accommodate it? And then where do I just have to accept this is who they are? Like, I may want this level of closeness. My spouse doesn't.
Yeah.
Okay. Then where's the middle ground?
Right.
Where can you give a little, and I can understand you need your space a little, and how do we close the gap? And I think you can, if you recognize there's an unhealthy attachment style, you got to work on it.
Yeah.
Like, I got to figure out, why do I feel unworthy? Why am I worried about the relationship? Now, it's one thing. So I think you can also get a secure person who's had a spouse be unfaithful.
Right.
Can feel a bit anxious for a season, and that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right? Where it's like, oh my gosh, like, where are you going?
Right.
What are you doing? All that kind of stuff. But I think when you recognize it, you got to be willing to work on it. Like, why am I so worried about this? You
can't just say, well, I'm just anxious and that's just me. It's something you can work on. It's fixable.
Yeah, you could say that, but you can grow.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right.
You're not stuck.
Yeah.
So the people are, well, hey, my parents suck, so I guess I'm just anxious.
Right.
Okay.
Sounds like my kids.
Well, then if you don't want to, if you don't want to change, you better find a secure attachment person to get in a relationship with, right?
Yeah.
So an anxious with a secure, and avoidant with a secure usually go all right.
Okay.
An anxious with an avoidant, that's a recipe for disaster. And two avoidants, I've yet to meet two avoidants, because they're not gonna get together.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of those where it's like, hey man, that was a great date. And then nobody called each other again.
Right. That's funny.
Okay. Oh, I didn't think of it. You never really called me.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That just won't happen.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So with the shows that we used to watch, maybe you still watch it.
Oh yeah.
The what do we watch? The one
90 Day, Married at First Sight.
Married at First Sight. So,
yes.
Married at First Sight, when you're throwing people together you don't know.
Yeah.
You got two avoidants. It makes a good show, I guess. I don't know.
Well, yeah, they love that mess.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Well, look at, I'm learning some stuff.
Yeah. So where do you think you are?
Where do you think I am?
You're secure.
There you go. I'm secure.
That's it?
That's it.
What about the first marriage?
You know what? I still think I was secure. I think I was still secure then. Yeah. I've never really had a problem with any of that.
Well, my friend, that might be leaning a little bit towards the avoidant. I never really had a problem with depending on anybody or being affected a whole lot by relationship, or I could take it or leave it, or that's a bit of avoidant.
Is it? Then I guess.
Well, tell me this. Okay. So avoidant would, values independence, doesn't really want to have to depend on people. Sometimes has a hard problem with vulnerability.
Yeah. I guess if I had to lean towards one, that would be one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when there's, because we talked about this before.
Sure.
When there's, a problem on the home front, or there's stress, or there's something. That's,
you don't talk to anybody.
I'm a retreater.
Yeah. You don't have anybody you call.
No.
You're independent.
No, of course not. I tried you once. Don't do that again. Note to self.
Wow. Wow. I thought it went differently. I felt like.
Did you?
I felt like, man, that went well.
Yeah.
So it did on your side.
Yeah. It's when I started wearing black.
Oh.
Fair enough. Yeah. Huh. So it was the lunch with me that put you in that place.
That was it. But no, I don't. I don't call. I just write it out. That's just kind of what I do.
What do you see? So you talk with a lot of women.
Yeah.
What do you see in women?
Gosh,
what do you
anxious.
see more of? Anxious?
Yeah, very much so anxious. And it's probably the anxious and the avoidance, right? Because the issue is husbands don't want to get involved with counseling, or they don't want to get involved in community, or they don't have anyone that they are comfortable talking to, nor do they want to talk to them, even if they do have them. So you have the woman that's over here like, come on, we need help. Like, come do this or do that. Go talk to this person. The husband's like, I don't want anybody in my business. I don't want to talk to anybody. So that.
I could see. I mean, I would have picked you as avoidance because you typically these games that we throw out, you try to avoid them. You try to avoid winning.
I think that's a fear of failure.
I think that's what that is.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna
probably have that
play
a
something
bit.
because I want you secure.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah, let's go.
I want
Let's
you
go.
secure.
So right now, what's happening is you need to reframe this.
Right.
Okay.
This is not just. I mean, it may end up this way, but this is not inevitably another loss for you.
No.
This is an
He's getting in your head.
opportunity.
Don't
This
let
is
him
an
get in your head.
opportunity to
Thank you.
step
Yahweh.
into
Yes.
secureness. Now, remember, reflect. The last time we did a game, you won.
I did win.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
true.
You won pretty
Yes.
heavily.
That's true.
Yes.
That's true.
I was
So
very good
just
that day.
remember that. And
All
you
right,
have
you
your
got this.
Yahweh shirt on.
Yeah,
Yep.
you got this.
So
You got this.
you've got God
Covered.
on. I've
Yes.
got altered marriage on.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Almost neck and neck, but a
Yeah,
little different.
we'll see. We'll see.
All right, let's go.
I'm going for Little Angel. Is that what it is? Little
Yeah,
Little Angel.
Okay, here we go.
She used to be Little Bit, but when she got the
Little Angel.
Yahweh shirt on, her stage name's Little
Little
Angel.
Angel.
There we
I like
go.
that. I like that. All right, so we're talking about attachments, different kinds of attachments. So
Okay.
I went and found songs that had the word stuck on them. Attachment.
Okay.
Stuck,
Because you're
right?
stuck together.
You're stuck
Yeah, I
together,
like
right?
that. All right.
All right, so here we go. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to throw out some lyrics. If you can name the song, you get a point. Mm-hmm. If you can name the artist, you get another one. So
Oh,
you
really?
can double up.
Do we have anybody else who could maybe read the lyrics?
I got this.
Because I remember the last
No,
time.
I totally got it.
It was,
songs that I knew.
and you had a hard
Yeah,
time.
You read them.
Yeah.
They didn't
That's
make
what
sense.
makes
They
it
didn't compute
challenging.
anymore.
You
Yeah.
can't make it easy.
Yeah.
It's a challenge. All right,
Okay.
here you go. You got
All right.
this.
All right.
I've got this feeling deep in my soul that I just can't lose. Stuck on you. What's the name of the song?
See, those lyrics are
I know. So
semi.
I can sing it. You want me to sing it for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sing it.
I got this feeling down deep in my soul, and I.
Just can't.
There you go.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, I'm
I'm
on
out.
my
I'm-
way. Come on,
Nah, I'm out.
you know it. Really,
I'm out.
the classic song.
Give me the song and maybe I can get the artist now.
Stuck on you.
Oh, is this Huey Lewis?
No.
Who is it?
Tell him, Ahmad. Lionel Richie.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yep,
Ahmad
I did
gets
not.
a point.
All right.
Did not know.
All right.
Huh.
All right. Squeeze you tighter than a grizzly bear. I'm going to stick like glue. Stick because I'm stuck on you.
Nope.
Got to go old school. Got to go way back. I'm pulling all over the board. We're not staying with your hip hop stuff now. We're just
Not
going all
hip-hop
over the
stuff
board.
now.
So we got to pull stuff out of eras we didn't live in and music we didn't listen to.
I don't know how you don't know.
I don't know.
these.
Grizzly Bear. I mean, it's like
Yeah,
Kenny
when you
Rogers or
say
something.
grizzly bear.
Oh,
I mean,
What
shit.
genre?
50s.
I don't know anything in the 50s.
Really?
Little Richard?
Just name somebody from the 50s.
I don't even know who's in the 50s.
Elvis?
I was
Could be in the
starting to say
50s.
Elvis.
Yeah, that's
All
Elvis.
right.
All right. Well, let me. Okay,
Terrible
come on.
game.
Yeah, really? Maybe
Golly.
terrible performers.
Yeah.
All right. So lock the door and throw out the key. Can't fight this no more. It's just you and me. And there's nothing I can do. I'm stuck with you, stuck with you, stuck with you. This
What
is a
genre?
duo.
What
Oh, I
genre?
got this.
This is-
I
Oh, you got this
I got
one?
this right
Okay.
there.
Oh,
Look at
The
that.
song
already.
is Stuck on You. Justin Bieber, Ariana Grande.
You got two. See? The game just got better. Game
did
just
not
got
know that.
better.
That, you know, because I mean,
All right.
that's my era.
All right, there
Bieber
we go.
and Ariana Grande.
Yeah, I
Bieber.
can see.
So
right.
freaking relevant.
All right,
and
go
woke.
ahead.
See? That's where I got to pull out stuff. That's not your.
You just never know.
All right, here we go. We had some fun. We had our ups and downs. Been down that rocky road, but here we are, still around. We thought about someone else,
Yes, I know the song.
but neither one could take the bait. We thought about breaking up, but now it's much too late.
yeah, this is Huey Lewis of the News, Stuck on You. Or Stuck, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there's a couple more, but I see how this is going. Congratulations.
Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah.
Good game.
Yeah, good job.
I got the
Yeah.
Good
deer in the
game.
headlights over here.
All
It's time-
right.
I don't
it's time
know.
to yeah.
Actually, that was a great game.
Yeah.
I take back what I said 2 minutes ago.
Right.
Yeah,
There you
that's
go.
first.
Good job. Well, I have some past episodes I want you to check out.
Hold on. How are you feeling? Are you feeling more secure in your attachment?
You know what?
Are you going to avoid his games?
I'm secure.
Oh, you feel
I'm
good either
secure.
way.
I mean, it is what it is. I didn't know the songs, so there's nothing.
You put on Yahweh today.
What songs could I have pulled out? Do you listen to a radio?
Yeah, sometimes.
I think if you would have went,
what?
Maybe like R&B, maybe not like Next, Close.
I'm trying to pull people out of their shell, out of their
real close.
Yeah, but no.
Maybe that would have worked.
Or maybe multiple choice. Then I could have at least tried to guess right, But just shooting out the dark like that was just.
Come on now.
It was too much. But for past episodes, check out number 63, When to Know It's Time for Couples Counseling, and check out number 57, How to Heal from a Past Relationship. All right. Good. And don't forget to check out Relation Shots, Eric's other channel. There you go.
All right. Whatever that was.
We out. Thank you.